Good morning, everyone. We're going to give it just a second to let everyone get logged in so we can get started. We will give it till about a minute afterwards. Hope everyone is able to stay cool on a day like today. It's supposed to be 117 out. Okay, looks like we've stopped counting up, so anybody else can jump in when they are ready. I'd like to say again, good morning. We are here to learn about managing your business bookkeeping. Our presenter is Lisa Card, Senior Business Analyst with Maricopa Small Business Development Center. And I will say just some, I guess, housekeeping. If you will put your questions in the chat, I will stop Lisa periodically and get those questions answered. And we will also send out a copy of the slide deck afterwards. And of course, the recording itself for all that information that Lisa shares that's not necessarily in the slide deck will be on our website by end of day tomorrow. And that is maricopa-sbdc.com and under recorded webinars. So Lisa, I am sending it over your direction.
Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. All right, you guys, let's get started. So my name is Lisa Card, and I have been an SBDC business analyst, economic developer, and trainer for over the last 12 years. I've also owned several businesses over the last 27 years. I love working with small businesses and individuals looking to start a business. So welcome today. So I'd like to share that we are a part of a national network of over 1,000 SBDCs in our country. Maricopa County Community College SBDC is a cooperative program between Maricopa County Community College and the U.S. Small Business Administration. The Arizona Small Business Development Network provides high quality, high impact, one-on-one business counseling and has 10 SBDC service centers around the state, as well as 6 procurement technical assistance centers, also known as APEX. We truly are Arizona's go-to resource to start, to grow, and transition a business. So let's talk about who we serve. Because we get a lot of clients that they want to start a for-profit or a nonprofit or have questions on it all. Well, who we serve are for-profit, independently owned small businesses throughout Maricopa County, as well as those looking to start a business. So as you can see on this slide, we serve small businesses with 500 or fewer employees at any growth stage. Usually people think that we just service the small solopreneurs, the 1, 2, business owners, maybe with an employee or 2. But as you can see, that's not the case, although we do serve them as well. So how do we serve? We serve through counseling, training, and we have wonderful resources. So our primary offerings are providing guidance through the no-cost business counseling, trainings, and resources like the tools that are shown on this slide. These tools assist us in developing a comprehensive business plan with financial projections, providing industry market research reports, strategic planning, new business compliance checklist, and so much more. Our AZSBDC state network has really filled our toolboxes with great resources to share with our clients. One of our valuable partners is the Arizona Commerce Authority. Since the pandemic, they have been offering the Arizona Small Business Bootcamp that provides no-cost online trainings for Arizona state small business communities. Here are some upcoming trainings that I thought I'd share with you. If you're interested in attending, just go to the website that's listed on the slide to register. What's cool about these boot camps is they do record all of them and they can be viewed at any time. They have a pretty extensive library now, and you can find hundreds of trainings online. So let's go over the topics that we'll cover today. We're going to talk about the importance of bookkeeping. I'm not going to teach you how to bookkeep. I'm going to teach you the importance of it. The responsibility as a business owner. So that's going to be really important. Options for bookkeeping, and then bookkeeping task timelines. Okay, let's get started. Why is bookkeeping important? So I want to make this session interactive. So if you can drop a 1 in the comment box if you have started a business in less than a year. Drop a 2 if you've been in business over a year or more. And then drop a 3 if you have a business idea, you haven't started yet, or you're going to be starting soon. Okay, I'm going to open that up and start to look. All right. Good. Big variety, a lot of 2s, 1s, 3s. Awesome. So we have a diverse group. That's great. So I want to tell you why bookkeeping is so important. Hundreds of new businesses start every year. And many businesses do not understand the benefits of timely bookkeeping or the requirements. The basic purpose of bookkeeping is to accumulate the information on your business income and expenses in a manner that is useful to you as a business owner. So we're going to use the comment box again. So let me ask you, who are the outside users of your financial business information? Who would you want to share your financial info with? So can you put that in the chat? A lender, yep, CPA, accountant, tax guy, yep, tax preparer. Exactly. What about the IRS? Absolutely. Investors, there you go. Yep. What about some vendors and suppliers? Sometimes when you're seeking credit from them, they are going to want to see some financials. Business incubators, angel investors, yep. Banks, absolutely. Good. Awesome. You guys are awesome. You're all over it this morning. So all these people are interested in your financial information, but believe it or not, the most important user of this information is going to be you, the business owner. It's important for both legal and financial management purposes. So by keeping accurate records in a timely manner allows you to get a snapshot of your business financial health in the form of financial statements. So what kind of statements? Cash flow, income statements, balance sheets, profit and loss, and more. These financial statements, they tell you the health of your business. Like, is it taking a loss? Are you breaking even? Are you making a profit? Can I buy a truck? Can I buy some equipment, right? Those are really important things that you need to know to make good decisions for your business. Okay, let's see, here we go. Okay, so did you know that according to an article posted by SCORE, written in June 2020 by preferred CFOs, state over 82% of startups fail due to poor cash flow management? If you stay on top of your bookkeeping task, you have a better chance to succeed. So the purpose of this class is not to turn you all into bookkeepers, accountants, or to teach you how to do the bookkeeping. Our goal today is to show you how financial information helps you manage your business better and your responsibility as a business owner, what those are, and to increase your chances of being profitable. And as you can see here on the slide, there's a lot of parts to that. Okay, so what does the IRS have to say about record keeping? The IRS website has a page and it's dedicated to record keeping requirements. So there are requirements that you need to be mindful of. So I recommend that you take a look at the IRS website under record keeping. It's not a bad read, a lot of short, articles and information on here, very quick read. The federal government requires that you maintain records to support the dollar amounts that you report on your tax returns. So banks, lenders, insurance companies, to name a few, require that you keep those records as well. So this website also has dates of how long you are required to keep certain records, which can be very important if you are audited. So I highly recommend you go and take a look. Very important. Any questions on this part? There are, like I said, there are timelines of how long you have to keep things. And so if you click on this, this third one, how long should I keep records? Very important. All right. So I want to tell you a quick story of a client of mine. I had a bookkeeping service many moons ago, and I had a client that would give me an egg box. They had a retail grocery store, gas station, and every month they would give me an egg box, just like the one that you see here. And it was full of cash register tapes, invoices, payroll stubs, bank statements, credit card statements, deposit slips, and so much more, just all thrown together. And it was a mess. It would literally take me 7 to 8 hours every month just to start and finish this client's books. Now, my client, she knew that it was going to be important to have a after the fact bookkeeping service that would sort out all the paperwork, code it all, and put it in all the right accounts, reconcile the bank statements, prepare her monthly sales tax reports, her quarterly payroll reports, produce financial statements every month so that she was in good shape. I know small business owners that have the same box. A lot of you do. But you wait till the end of the year sometimes before you start to sort or do any type of bookkeeping. Some of the big offenders out there are realtors. I have a handful of realtors that are my friends or family, and they just throw everything in a box and wait till the end of the year to try to code and sort. So I want you to type a yes or a no in the comment box if you think they'll be able to produce accurate financials at the end of the year. Or, what does that look like? Do you think they're going to be accurate? Nope. You're all smart. You've had plenty of coffee today. Yeah, no, not really. I like the not really, because no. Oh, Marlo. She says, I do this. No. And you know what, Marlo? A lot of people do. It's common. But unfortunately, you're not going to have accurate financials, right? So the answer is no. And let me give you an example of how this can impact you in a negative way, meaning you could pay more in taxes by it not being accurate. So my example is, let's say a business owner takes out a $500 owner's draw, but they end up using $100 for petty cash. right? Or they go and buy, $85 worth of office supplies or whatever. At the end of the month or the year, it's not noted, or you don't realize that, oh man, I didn't put that in to put in a journal entry. I didn't report that. And you end up paying taxes on the full $500 draw rather than the $400, right? Offsetting that $100 at $85 and only paying the income tax on $400. And that can add up weekly, monthly, that can really add up. So at the end of the month and year, if it's not noted, you will pay taxes on the full amount and not get the use of offsetting your taxes with accurate expenses that went towards your business. So that's just one item that a lot of people miss. And at the end of paying taxes, or at the end of the year, you're paying higher taxes on your business and income. So thank you for all your answers. So somebody puts, that's why we're on here, so we don't do this anymore. Absolutely. I hope that this works. I've been told by business owners that they round up and down to give to their tax preparers. And I just want to say, audits happen. Don't do that. Don't round. And I know people do that, right? So let's move on. Okay, so let's talk about your bookkeeping options. You have choices of bookkeeping options. First, you may want to hire an in-house bookkeeper, but I want to caution you that I've seen businesses hire family members or individuals that have no accounting education or experience, which can lead to huge mistakes on your financials, resulting in tax problems, cash flow issues, embezzlement, and more. Now, I don't say that lightly because I'm not trying to talk about your people here, but I'm saying that it's just the lack of knowledge or experience to do this can cause those problems. And unfortunately, throughout the years that I've been working with small businesses, embezzlement, it might seem like that's kind of rare. Unfortunately, it's not. So I suggest that when you're hiring a bookkeeper, that you look for a candidate that has a certificate or a degree in accounting or accounting experience, that they've been doing it for a while and that they have the software. All of that's really important. Good references are also a key to their character. So this is important of someone who is taking care of your finances. Very important. Let's talk about your second option. That is to hire an after-the-fact bookkeeper. This allows the business owner to throw everything into their egg box, if you will, and manage their business and cash themselves. But they want someone to record the details of the expenses, income, and prepare any monthly, quarterly tax returns needed, journal entries, bank reconciliation. So this after the fact bookkeeper would wrap it all up and make sure that those financials are put together properly. So we suggest that clients start to look for a bookkeeping service, usually on the local Chamber of Commerce website. They have directories with local businesses in that area. And what's nice about that is these businesses have they have strong interest in building their community success. So I always like to say, start there. Starting there is a great way to find a reputable bookkeeper. Now, of course, you can, meet with your SBDC counselor and they could have a list of referred bookkeeping options. But I always like to say those local chamber members, they really are invested in their community. So some business owners, they prefer to do their own bookkeeping, usually using software like QuickBooks, Wave, Oracle, Odoo, Zoho, Excel spreadsheets, and others. As you can see, there's a lot of options for bookkeeping softwares. But my recommendation is to ask your tax accountant, your tax preparer, what bookkeeping software do you guys use? Because that could be really helpful, right? So for example, many accountants, they use QuickBooks and they have staff that's certified in this software. In the last few years, bookkeeping software now has the option to link right up to your business checking accounts, and the software will assist you in coding the transactions, which is very helpful. Just keep in mind, that this makes your life a lot easier. But I do want you to consider that if it's linking up to your business checking account, and if it's a brand new software, like, let's say it's one of the newer ones, they might have some kinks to work out with that. I do want to say, QuickBooks has, that software is taught in a lot of community colleges around our state, and they do pay a lot in security. They are at our national conference quite a bit, so they are recognized as a good software to use. So let's see, you need to think about how steep the learning curve is for some of this software as well. So, do I need to take classes to learn what I'm doing, right? Over the years, I've found that business owners, they don't understand accounting or underuse the software. So mistakes are made often. So if you choose to do your own books, you can avoid making costly mistakes by taking some classes that are really inexpensive, around $100. You can take several classes and learn the basics. As a matter of fact, I believe last year, Karen, didn't we have the QuickBooks courses? They were amazing. I think we had a couple, didn't we?
We had two. We had QuickBooks 1 and 2, and both of those are actually available on our website under recorded webinars. If you'd like to watch those, I imagine that we will also have those again at the beginning of next year, about the same time, like February, March.
Thank you, Karen. I sat in those, and just for a refresher, and wow, they're just full of really great information. So making sure that your software is secure, will it accommodate my growth? So a lot of times, I'll just get the free version, right? Well, you might start off with the free version, but it might not stay free, right? Because you're growing and you're going to need other features, right, to help you with your growth. And then you're going to want to find out if there are tutorials available or built into the software. These are things that you need to think about and look into before you actually start doing your books in one of these softwares. Questions about software? Anybody? How much does QuickBook cost? Well, that's a great question. They have, I believe, 4 different prices that they offer, and it just depends on how much of it you need to use, right? So it'll list everything that it offers, and it's usually very low cost. I believe it's, under $30 a month for the basic. I think it's like 25 or something like that. With inflation, the prices keep changing, but it's worth it to have a software. Let's see, can you send a link for the 1 and 2 QuickBooks information? So Karen had stated I don't know, Karen, can you pull that link up and put that in the chat?
I am so sorry. I got distracted. Are you
Don't
saying
worry.
the QuickBooks 1 and 2?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, what I will do is I will put a link to the recorded webinars, and you can just go down the list, and they were in February of 2023.
Awesome.
So it's very easy to get to them. And I made a mistake and didn't push record at the proper time. So the first part isn't actually 2 parts. So
No worries. All right. So moving on here. Thank you, Karen. Now let's talk about, using a bookkeeper, an accountant. They usually provide a list of services that are shown on the screen and more. So many business owners are busy working in their business and find that hiring the service saves time and money, and it provides a peace of mind as well. So bookkeeping services, the charges can range between $50 to $500 a month, depending on your business needs. Okay, so reviewing this list shown, an example, seasonal services. I had a client, they had a seasonal business, they were farmers, but they didn't have software to do their invoicing. So I handled his accounts receivables for several months out of the year and would send out all his invoices for him. So bookkeeping services are customized based on your needs. So as you can see here, bookkeeping system setup, payroll processing, prepares payroll tax reports, sales tax reports, which the sales tax reports, that's really changed. Now the reporting and the paying is done online with the Arizona Department of Revenue. But some people still, they want that help. It's a little confusing sometimes if you're a contractor or have multiple cities that you're paying sales tax out towards, financial statements, seasonal services. So as you can see here, it can really be customized. Let me look at chat here. Okay, so good. Thank you, Karen. Moving on, daily tasks. So we are going to go over what your daily tasks should be. So business owners are responsible for whether they're doing their own books, their own bookkeeping, or hiring it out. So no matter if you're doing it or not, a business owner, you're responsible. That's the bottom line, right? So these tasks are vital to managing your cash flow as well as preventing an account takeover. And I'm going to explain what that is. I have a client that during the pandemic, she discovered that she had a large amount of money missing out of her business checking account. I'm going to stop right here and tell you it was close to $30,000. Her account was not just compromised, but it was called by the bank a takeover by an unknown person who they never identified. But because she checks her bank balances daily, she contacted the bank the same day the money was missing in her account and was restored within a week. You can imagine that if you're not checking your account and time passes, it makes it much harder to get restoration in a quick and timely manner. And the bank had told her that, fortunately for her, she caught it quickly. So, and let me just say, she noticed that there was $1 missing 2 days before that happened. And then there was like a $3.75 charge, and she couldn't identify what they were, but because they were such small amounts, she just let it go. And then it happened that almost $30,000 was taken out of her account on the third day. Not trying to scare you, but these things happen, unfortunately. And so daily task, check your cash on hand, your bank balance, sales and cash receipts, and all monies paid by cash and check. I personally, I have a business checking account with PNC Bank. Not trying to promote them. I'm just saying I really love this feature, right? And I'm able to set up email alerts for the business checking account balance. So every day, or if I make a transaction, it sends me an email alert and tells me what the balance is or what transaction happened. So that's kind of cool. I have found it super helpful. Do you see this poster of Phyllis the Fisher? He is a cyber thief. Cybersecurity is extremely important to you and your small business. Homeland Security and the Federal Trade Commission offer a free publication called the Cybersecurity for Small Business. It's important that you and your staff learn of the possibilities of what can happen and how to mitigate those problems as soon as they happen. So my client I mentioned called her bank the same day, and the bank was all over it to investigate the situation. Every bank is different, and you are at the mercy of that bank. And if you're not doing your due diligence and a cyber issue, a cyber takeover happens to your account, you could be in big trouble financially. Last week, our network offered a training called Simple Solutions to Common Cyber Threats. I am so glad I took that class because it's just ever changing. So, it was a great refresher, but also some new information like, hey, you better pay attention a little more often. So I highly recommend you watching for our cybersecurity trainings, as they are easy to understand and they give you great tips on reducing your risk of becoming an easy target for hackers. And Karen, is that one on our website as well? That Simple Solutions to Common Cyber Threats?
That is not. That is on the state website.
Okay.
Which
highly
is,
recommend you guys watch that. Oh, okay. Yeah. So one of our, let's see.
I'll get the link.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So I'm just in chat. My bank actually caught the 2 small transactions and called me and clarified whether I had actually done them or not. Wow, that was Alliance Bank. That's super cool, right? Because they have their yellow flags. That's yellow flags, those little small transactions, right? So that's great that Alliance Bank is doing that. And I think more banks are really starting to work on their security feature for their clients. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, weekly task. So some of the weekly tasks are going to be payroll taxes and reports. You know, any documents and, you know, that need to be filed along with receipts. Now, keeping everything organized in a filing system makes it so easy to go back and find the items needed very easily. Like I myself have learned the hard way many moons ago by I would create a stack of paperwork in a little filing bin, you know, and it would sit on my desk for a week and sometimes 2. And then when I would need a specific, back then, invoice or something that I paid, you know, sometimes it would take me an hour just to find it. Has that ever happened to you? And you're just like, oh man, I need that now, right? So I really feel like I really believe that if you add that filing component to the rest, that's going to help, you know, avoid wasting time looking for things. And I'm just going to check chat again because it looks like. Well, so, okay. So somebody says, is it bad that I am not likely to make those little small transactions? No, it's not bad. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue on those weekly tasks. So prepare and send out invoices. It's going to be really important that You include payment terms on those invoices and considering to offer early payment incentives to get paid on time. This is really important because this is how you're going to be able to pay your vendors, is by getting paid on time. And I have found that if you do in-house bookkeeping, sometimes, you know, that bookkeeper, they're not on top of invoicing clients in a timely manner. And then all of a sudden, now you have an invoice that's due and you don't have enough money to pay it because your accounts receivables was not done in a timely manner. Paying vendors, signing checks if needed, right? Track accounts payables and earmark funds to pay for your suppliers on time. I know it sounds weird to say sign the checks, you know, because so many things are automated, but I say that because sometimes we still use checks. There's businesses out there that we still use checks to pay for vendors, you know, the walk-in vendors. A lot of times now they have automated their phones accept payments and stuff, but I still use checks every once in a while. But I used to have a client that he would have the checks cut for his vendors, but he never wanted to stop and sign the checks. And you're just like, come on. So take time to be mindful that your suppliers need to be paid on time. And then review projected cash flow. So create a statement showing your current cash position, expected cash receipts, and expected cash payments during the upcoming week so that you're prepared for what that looks like. Now let's talk about our monthly tasks. So every month you should do the following. Balance your checkbook and bank account reconciliation. Some people don't feel like that's important. It is so that you understand, you know, where you're at with your cash flow. Balancing your petty cash, that's important as well. Review sales tax, create your report and make the payment. So most small businesses, the sales tax is due monthly. The Arizona Department of Revenue, they have a calendar that they post on their website so that you know when that payment is due. And they do give a couple days of grace period. But if you pass that, they have a double fine penalty. So it's worth your time to pay on time. So review past due receivables. It's going to be important to send a reminder to your customers that, you know, if they're past due, because collecting receivables is how you're going to pay your bills. Analyze inventory status. So reordering products and identifying others that are moving slowly or some that may need to be marked down or discontinued. It's going to be really important. Processing payroll. Review your actual profit and loss versus budget. If you don't have a budget prepared, then, you know, to compare to, then, you know, that might be something that you want to work with your accountant with or talk to your business analyst about. If you need help to review this, you know, it's always going to be important to review, you know, your budget, your profit and loss, your cash flow. Talk to your accountant, your CPA, bookkeeper, even the SBDC business analyst, score mentor. This is very important for a new business as well as an existing business, especially these days. Quarterly task. Every quarter, if you have payroll, you will need to complete quarterly payroll tax reports. Okay. I've worked with some realtors who are small business owners as independent agents, and they didn't realize that they could pay estimated taxes every quarter to lower their year-end tax burden. So it's something to think about as a small business owner. Let me look into chat. I see something. Okay, so Karen is saying the state office doesn't seem to have the cybersecurity training that I shared posted on their website. So she has requested that link. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so mid-year task. 6 months into the year, it's good to review your financials with your CPA or your accountant to make sure that your income and expenses are coded correctly and to look for errors or numbers that stand out that don't make sense. It's also a good time to share and compare your gross revenues with your insurance company for your general liability policy. Let me tell you why. When you fill out your insurance application for the year, they always have a question that asks what your anticipated gross revenue will be for the year. That question is a big part of determining your monthly premiums. So if you put a high hopeful number in that box, your monthly payments are going to be higher. And let's say at the end of the year, you didn't earn the gross revenue you had hoped you would. And so you just overpaid for your general liability insurance policy. And most of the time, you will not get a refund. It's best practice to look at your last year's revenue as a baseline, then mid-year, contact your insurance company to share where your numbers are so that they can adjust your premiums if needed. I see another comment in chat. Okay. Annual task. So review past due receivables. You have a decision to make. Do I send them to collections at the end of the year, which they charge anywhere between 15 to 50% of the invoice? Or should I write it off? That's going to be up to you, right? You're also going to want to review your inventory, calculate the volumes of the items not sold, then use the unsellable inventory as a deduction, or and I do recommend you talk to your tax preparer about that. You're going to fill out your IRS forms, your W-2s for employees, 1099 miscellaneous for independent contractors. And you're going to review and approve your year-end financial reports before you do your tax returns, right? Just in case you find errors. And then you'll do your tax returns. You want to, I can't recommend this enough, but please review everything before you send your documents to have your taxes done. Okay, super important. I've seen errors happen and, or caught and after the fact, after taxes were done. So you want that looked at first. Okay, so we're going to wrap this training up with some bookkeeping tips. Keep personal and business finances separate. Makes things so much easier. Automate as much as possible because it saves you time. Keep thorough records and file them properly and consistently. When you're writing a check, put notes in there. Sometimes you just need to know what was this check for? So the notes area is helpful. Set reminders for deadlines. This keeps you on top of things that are important, right? So go into your calendar and go ahead and put some of these timeline tasks in your calendar to give you a reminder. You're going to want to leave an audit trail. So take a look at the IRS record keeping page. It's not a long read. It's really informative to know what they want you to keep and for how long. Track your business expenses. It's so important because it spins fast, so track often. Keep your books at the top of your priorities. You'll never regret this and you will benefit in the long run. Exit strategy. Keep in mind that there may come a time when you want to sell the business. If your financials are not in order, you will have a hard time convincing a lender that your business wink, wink, is profitable, especially if you're a cash-based business like a restaurant or a food truck, right? Super important. Okay. Questions? I have answers, I hope, maybe. Let's see. Any questions as we start to wrap this up? You guys are a great crowd here. Let's see. So I just want to share that for SBDC services, you can go to azsbdc.net. You can click request counseling. And then you can check all the trainings throughout the state that way. I do want to share some upcoming trainings that are statewide. So we have a debt funding 101, understanding how to get and stay capital ready, designing with Canva. That is going to be so much fun and really popular. It looks like there's a lot of people registered for that. Build a better business plan, simple tips and tools, AZ Business Startup Clinic, and then the Arizona Transaction Privilege Tax. What do you need to know? So those are some upcoming trainings I just wanted to share really quickly with you. Karen, are there any questions? Let's see.
Let's see. Will the PowerPoint be available to print out or download to reference? I will email out the PowerPoint no later than end of day tomorrow. And this meeting will be viewable afterwards, again, on our website. Under that link that I shared previously, we put all of our recorded webinars on our website. And that also answers the next one. And will there be another training or refresher course? Lisa?
Well, if you're requesting that, we will see. I know that we have a ton of trainings that we have been putting together for you guys for the rest of this year, and they look amazing so far. So we shall see. And
Great.
then it looks like use Clover with my retail business. Do you recommend software? I mean, yeah, Clover's wonderful. QuickBooks. I'm seeing a lot of thank yous. Yeah. You're welcome. Happy to share with you guys. I hope you all have a great day. I'm glad this was informative for you. Thank you for attending. Oh, Karen.
I did put, I don't see any of the recorded webinars on the state website, but I do see that they have them on their YouTube channel. And so I did share that link.
Great.
So
cool. Hey, you're welcome, everyone. Thanks for attending and answering questions. You guys are on your game today.
All right, bye. Y'all have a great day.
Take care.